Coming up, the untold story of a Roseville couple is now the subject of an international documentary. Retired Colonel Pat Thompson and wife Barbara Brass are ready to speak out about their film Surviving the Silence, serving and changing the United States military.
And now, Rob on the Road, exploring Northern California.
Joining us now from Roseville, Colonel Pat Thompson and Barbara Brass. It is so good to see both of you here on Rob at Home.
We are so thrilled to be here. It's wonderful to see you.
You live in Roseville. You both have been there since the early 80s, and all pretty much, except for your military career before then, a lot of what has unfolded.
Yes.
How has that gone over where you live?
Well, it does show a little bit in our film that we had been very protective of ourselves for most of the years. Never came out to neighbors at all until the last couple of years. So I think Roseville and Placer County in general is incredibly conservative and red. And we have just been careful, but now we've been out and open and proud and out on the streets for the last almost 4 years.
Which is wonderful. Yeah, we love being out.
Yeah.
Did you, and I can't imagine from where you started to where you are in your life now, Pat, did you ever dream, or was it your dream, that it would come to a level of out and understanding?
No, I didn't think that would happen. I really didn't for many, many years. Because, I was 80 when I came out to my family in North Carolina. Because it just wasn't something that you talked about. Mm-hmm. And so, no, I was, I'm really happy that I can be out and proud.
With the film, Surviving the Silence, the film is getting a lot of international attention. That's exciting.
It is, yes. It'll start playing in Mumbai, India, which if anybody knows anybody in India, they can go to the Kashish Mumbai International Film Festival, and it is up in contention for an award.
That's fantastic. Also, other film festivals have expressed interest. Want that to be.
We do, of course. Whatever's the best, the most exposure. It premiered, I guess you would call it the world premiere, at the Ashland Independent Film Festival, which was virtual. It just had to turn virtual at a moment's notice, and they did an incredible job. So that was in May.
The first time you saw it, how did you feel? I want to know this from both of you. How in the world did it feel to see this and to know the journey behind it?
Yeah, we were thrilled when we saw it, absolutely thrilled. All the work, we know about all the work that went into it, and that has nothing to do with us. It has to do with the filmmakers, that they put together something that is worthy of, we believe, worldwide distribution on so many levels, not because it's about us, but because it's about what can happen if you work to make your life work in whatever circumstances you're in. We happen to be in a military situation, surviving that silence during those times. But it also, the wonderful thing about the film, and one of the reasons we're thrilled that it took as long as it did to be completed, is that it was able to capture us in our second life, which was the life of activism, a full-time activism, which we started right after the election.
I wasn't ready to come out until now.
Please welcome Pat Thompson.
We have a lot to talk about in regard to the impact that your life and your story and your honesty has had on this country and the military. You were incredibly involved in the repeal of Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Tell me about that journey.
Well, I was asked to set a board in Washington State, and it had to do with Colonel Camelmeyer, who was their state chief nurse. I didn't understand at first what that was about until I got a whole lot of information in a big box.
I get this huge cardboard box, and I started looking in it, and I said, oh no, I can't do this to her.
I applied for a top secret clearance. I made the statement, I am a lesbian. I said, the Army is going to start discharge proceedings against you. And I was stunned, embarrassed, hurt. I had always believed that the Army took care of its own. And now they were coming after me.
I was sad that I had to be a part of that. Sorry that I had to do that to you.
It was one of the most difficult things I ever did, was to stand up, look her in the eye, and take her rank, because we had so much in common. We were both lesbians, we were both the same rank, we were both nurses, you know, a lot of commonality there.
But nobody knew that you were, nobody knew about you. She had come forward about herself, but nobody knew about you.
Right. And as long as I was active military, you know, I couldn't come out because I would be thrown out with her.
How did that moment, with that moment in the film, but in your heart, we saw the power in the film just now in the preview, but in your heart, how did it feel?
I cried all the way to dinner. I cried all the way home the next day on the plane. I was so happy to get home to Barb's support. She was wonderful. Yeah, it was one of the hardest things I've ever done, militarily.
What did you say to Barb when you got home?
I don't remember, but we had long hugs, I know that.
Well, Pat really didn't know that what she had done was so important and so significant and so positive. It really, I think it felt to her like stabbing one of her best nurses in the back, although if she hadn't done it, somebody else would have, because that was the only alternative. But it doesn't make you feel any better. And she, it took a long time for her to heal from that and to understand that her role was the most significant role in that whole tribunal.
Did you ever dream that that would lead to so much? And I'm specifically referring to, and I would love to hear you elaborate, either one of you elaborate on the impact of Don't Ask, Don't Tell.
Well, one little anecdote was in 2011 when it did pass, when it was abolished, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. We were driving and got a phone call from some good friends, and they said, "Did you hear the news? Don't Ask, Don't Tell has been abolished." And I was driving, Pat was sitting next to me, and I look over at her, and she's pretty darn stoic, but I saw this little tear just kind of trickle down her face, because it was so important to her to have that news, to have that happen, to see that transpire in her lifetime. Yeah. And that was 2011. So we're long past that, and we're hoping we can hang on to that and improve on that as well.
Because it's that full circle moment from what happened between you and Greta.
Yeah. Yes.
And Barb and I were able to go to Greta's retirement party after she was reinstated and served 3 more years. And that was wonderful to be able to do that, to be there and know that she was able to retire. with honors.
You have a very interesting perspective that I really want to tap in on. And that is that feeling when you knew that if you stayed in your job, what you would have to do, versus if you didn't do it and then you would lose your job.
Right.
And then what would happen down the road if you did lose that job, to any internal hopes you had had for making change. It's a difficult position to be in, and I'm curious how you made the decision to do it.
Well, I joined the military in honor of my brother, who was a Navy pilot and was killed in a plane crash during World War II.
I'm so sorry.
I wanted to serve in his honor. And so that's what kept me going through some of the hard spots. When I retired from the military, I think that I suffered from like PTSD. And Barb was so very helpful in that to help me to get over that. She was wonderful. So without her, I'd probably still be suffering from PTSD.
That makes so much, I understand that now, because it's as if you had made a vow, an internal vow to your brother, and everything else came below that. The vow was right there, the honoring your brother. And it came at the expense of even opening up your own life.
Yes, my other brother, my younger brother, when it came time for him to join the military, my mother said, no, I've lost one. They can't have you. So he didn't go. And I thought, well, he can't go, but I can go.
At what point did you come out to the military?
I guess after I retired, it was not at my retirement, because at my retirement, Barb was not allowed to sit at the head table with me. She had to sit at a table almost like a flag in between us, which was interesting.
Wow.
I don't think it really officially has ever come out to the military to anybody.
So let me ask you, do you want to come out officially to the military, and what does that look like?
Really, no, it's not that I want to. It just wouldn't matter to me.
Do you need to, personally?
No, I don't need to.
Pat is, what, 20 some years past retirement, since she retired. 25 years, yeah. So we were just glad that nobody outed her while she was still in the military, because we didn't know if they would grab her retirement away from her and discharge her dishonorably and whatever at that time. So as I've said many times, Pat has walked between the raindrops of the LGBT terrorism that the military has perpetrated on us, on LGBT people.
How do you think you survived all of that, Pat? The stress.
Well, I was determined that I wanted, to put enough years in to retire. So that kept me going. And then I stayed as a reserve nurse for many years with the medical brigade in South Sacramento. And I really enjoyed my participation with them as their chief nurse. We had 2 hospitals, one in San Francisco, one in LA. And we did major practices for war zone type hospitals and nursing, and so I got to write a lot of that and to participate. So that was a lot of fun. Yeah, we used Camp Roberts a lot for that. So it was pretty exciting at times.
What would you say to people who are serving in the military right now, who feel they cannot reveal who they are as a person, even to those that they are closest to around them in service? When everybody else talks about their life and they feel maybe that they can't because of stigma or whatever, what would you say? You've been in both positions.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I would tell them that if they feel strongly about staying in the military, that they just need to hang in and do what they can do to change the system.
I think the,
How?
go ahead.
No.
Well, the frightening part now is that even if the military regulations say that LGB people can be in the military, transgender is on the chopping block, as we know. It doesn't really matter with this particular regime that we're under, that you do something and you are found out to be LGBT. It doesn't take a pointed finger to say, well, you're out because of that. And we know that happens in job protection as well. You don't need to claim that that person is whatever the law dictates you can't claim. You can find another reason. You can find a way. And that's the sad part.
Anybody that wants to serve our country in the military, I think, should be able to do it.
If you can do the job, the military should honor, the country should be honoring everybody who does join and do the job they're there to do, to protect and serve our country.
What do you feel about today?
I am really thankful that I have not had the opportunity to serve under this president, who is our military commander-in-chief.
When Pat was talking about who she had to deal with on that board, to the tribunal board, and how she had to be the most adept negotiator by putting in all kinds of requests and requirements and suggestions and demands to this board before coming to the final determination of what was going to be said. And I know you told me that you put it all in there and they started chopping away at it little by little, but she held on to the most significant aspects of what was important to further this case and bring it on to civil court. And that's what made all the difference. So I've seen her negotiate, sometimes personally with me.
I love that. How long have you been together?
Well, in September, it'll be 36 years.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is fantastic. I love that for you. And I also want to say to you, Pat, that I would imagine your brother is incredibly proud of you.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. Her whole family should be proud.
Thank you for saying that.
But I mean the brother
Who died in World War II.
you
Yes.
made all of this commitment and service to.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
Is there anything that must be said that you feel like either one of you needs to share right now? Any burning desires to get off your chest?
Well, my burning desire has always been to see humanity become more humane, human, and decent. I just believe that we can all do better. We keep trying to do better, and I hope that everybody sees that they have a responsibility as a human being on this planet to care for the planet and the people around them. And that's my bottom line. And the other thing is
Vote.
vote. Yes.
Yeah.
Did you make that?
I made this. Yes, I've been making all kinds of masks just since the beginning of the lockdown.
Black Lives Matter mask, you just held that one up. Is there anything that nags at you when you lay down in bed at night, or that you want to say that was not in the film?
Well, I would just say to people that our democracy has been damaged, but we still have it in our hearts. And we have hope that our democracy will return fully after the November election.
I do want to ask you, all along the way, you mentioned hope, and hope is so important to the foundations of our lives. We have to have hope. No matter the circumstance, we have to have hope. And all along the way in your life, how did you maintain hope? And you were able to make the choice to come out. How did that feel, and how did that impact your level of hope?
Well, I think that it really opened me up, you know, once I was able to come out. And without the hope that I have for the future, I would not have been able to do that if I thought that it was going to always be the way it is right now. But I know that it won't be, and I am an optimistic person. I'm a positive person, and that has gotten me through a lot of hard spots.
Well, I certainly am glad it did get you through the hard spots, because we are all better because of your service, and both of you are truly to be saluted. I really appreciate both of you so much, and thank you for spending so much time with me. The film is surviving the silence. It's getting fantastic reviews, and a book is on the way.
And we want you to know that we love and appreciate you in return. Yes, thank you so much for all.
Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the depth of your interviews that you've been, especially since you've been doing in the time of COVID, Rob at Home, we have loved watching and get so much out of it. I think in some ways that we're all, our hearts and our emotions are more on the surface on some level during this time, and you're pulling that out with your interviews with all we've seen. So keep doing it. Keep doing it.
Thank you. I tell you, it's been survival for me. It's been my connection to get out of this mental weight that we feel from this situation. And if I can't connect with another heart, then it's a struggle. So I thank you for feeding me today.
It's very mutual.
Yes.
Peace to both of you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Rob at Home.
Like this.